What's up, my fellow students, subscribers, friends, shredders, strummers, campfire strummers, all of you, bass players, singers, welcome. MikeGrossRockingGuitarLessons.com. One thing that I have really started getting busy with is teaching guitar and bass and vocals on Skype. Come here, kitty. Come here, buddy. Do not spray. I need playing with you right now. Get. Anyways, real professional. All right, come over here, bud. My wife Joleen is a vocal instructor. We've both been teaching basically around the same amount of time, about 20 years, through music stores and through our home studio. And then in the past 2 years, when I switched over to basically opening my YouTube channel, things have really shifted. Now I'm still teaching in a music store, as is Joleen, but our primary way of teaching now is on the internet, and it's something that I wasn't going to do. I never would have. To me, it just seemed like a hassle. But I'm also a computer idiot. I don't know a whole lot about computers, but how foolish and naive was I? A webcam. That's all I had to go buy, was a webcam. Don't do it. Don't do it, dog. Come here. Anyways, so the transition is probably about 80% of my teaching now is online, on the internet. The advantages are awesome because I'm not just teaching in my city or in the next city over. I'm teaching across the world, not even just the United States, but across the world. Canada, Japan, Sweden, Norway, France. Just really, really cool. All you need is Skype. You need high-speed internet, which basically everyone has now, for the most part, right? Some of the cool things about it are they can be adjusted to your schedule where you don't have to leave your home and sit in traffic or whatever, or waste your gas driving. You set it up at a time that's convenient for you and me as well, but there's lots of hours in the day, in the week. And typically what I do is I set people up on the same day each week or bi-weekly and the same time. Put you in the schedule. That way it's your time. I do have a few rotating students. I have 2 students, Skype students that are truck drivers, and they don't know their schedule. It's just when they can get a lesson in. But we usually end up working around that. But the most solid way is if you get a set day, set time. That way it becomes a habit. Just like if you were going to take lessons from your local guitar teacher at a music store. They set you up on the same day, same time. Payments are made through PayPal.com using my PayPal email, which is tvxpunk@aol.com. They're really simple. One of the questions I get asked a lot is, do you, the student, have to have a PayPal account to make payments? The answer is no, you don't. All you need is that PayPal email, tvxpunk@aol.com. You go to make a payment. It's real easy. And all my Skype students and my personal students have my cell number and stuff, but occasionally we have, I have students that have questions about that as well. I'm bringing that up. And you use my email to handle doing that. It's really simple though. Things we work on are basically whatever. If you've been playing for a while as a guitar player, say 2 years or more, you're probably somewhat close to the intermediate level. I don't know until I actually hear you. But a lot of my intermediates and advanced students have a general idea of what they'd like to learn. One of the routes that most people are going is learning songs, and I think that's a great way of learning, because isn't the goal of most guitar players to be able to strum a song or play a song and play a solo through it? It is. And to me, it's the funnest way to learn, rather than have a music book in front of you and you have to have the book tell you how to do everything. And I'm not knocking music theory. I teach that as well if my students want to go that route. I don't prefer it personally. I feel like you can get the fastest results, and a lot of it depends on the teacher, man. If the teacher, us teachers have to be creative, and we have to understand that all students learn in different ways. And by learning songs, for example, You know, one that everyone's heard, Smoke on the Water, you know, or Joan Jett, I Love Rock and Roll. You already have the advantage a little bit in your mind because you've heard beats. Dun, 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 dun. Even if you don't know it on the guitar, there's that familiar melody in your head. So there's little advantages that way. But basically what I'm getting at is we can work on whatever you want. If you have particular goals, like I have a new student starting Friday, he's playing in a cover band with his friends, and he asked if he could send me a list of their songs, and he wants to brush up on them and tighten them up and actually learn some new ones and make sure that they're right. So I said, yeah. So he sent me his big list, and we're going to start working on that this Friday for his lesson. If you're a beginner, I do have some beginners that are like, oh, I really want to learn this song. So when that happens, I try to get that as soon as possible, sometimes in the first lesson, depending on the difficulty of the song. Sometimes we can simplify things. You know, for beginners, you just have to know how to be creative and bring things to the student at their level and where they're at. And I know how to do that. I've been doing it for long enough. I better, by this time. But I enjoy it, and it's a challenge. Music is a challenge in my mind. It's always been that way. It's one of the reasons I like all styles of music, not just metal, not just funk, not just blues. I like it all. I feel like they're one of the smartest things a musician can do is to be open-minded with music. And I didn't do that because I thought that's the smart thing. It's because the desire in me was to learn as much as I could. I just really enjoyed the instrument. So, but there's the basics that you learn. You know, if you're a beginner, we're going to start you with some finger warm-ups, exercises, get your calluses built up on your fingers, show you how to hold a pick. There's just lots of things to explain. Sometimes students have an electric and they don't understand certain things about them. What are these little things? Why is it locked up here? You know, there's those things that happen if you don't know. You walk into a music store, you see a cool-looking guitar, and you're a beginner, you're like, I want to buy it. Well, you know, it could be a good thing or a bad thing. But anyways, I kind of custom my teaching to the student, and that Joleen teaches the exact same way. On Skype, I highly suggest this. The only thing you need as the student, I suggest, is a notebook, a pen, have your pick, your guitar, an amp if you're playing through an electric. But I really suggest letting me send a 3-minute video, which is a recap of the lesson, and 99% of my students, that's what I do. Skype only gives you 3 minutes. But I recap everything. You can have a log of that, of each lesson, you know, for each week that you're doing your lesson, or bi-weekly or whatever. But it's sent right there on Skype in the text box, shows up as a video, and then, you know, you got the audio, you got the video. And some people learn better just audibly, some just by seeing, but now you have both if it's in the video. So I really suggest that you let me do that. If that's, you know, it's an option, and you may as well take it, because you may think, oh, I'll remember it. As long as I've been teaching, and as many students as I've heard say that, because 3 months down the road, you're going to forget probably half of what you learned. So why not just have it all on video? That's all I'm getting at. For more details, here's what I'm going to do. Check out my website, rockandguitarlessons.com. Go to the Skype Lessons tab. I have a tutorial there, but you've already watched one here. But it has the price breakdowns, what it costs, the requirements. I don't have an age requirement. I feel like if someone has a desire to learn, why would you stop a child from at least trying? And, you know, I'm a father. I've got 5 kids, and each and every one of them plays. Some more than others now, but they all started young, man. I mean, I'm talking 2.5, 3 years old for a couple of my kids, and they're rocking, man, today. So, you know, it kind of falls on the teacher to be open-minded. You got to be patient. You got to be understanding. Don't be nervous, you know, when you take a lesson. The way you see me on YouTube, that's how I am in real life. It's not an act or nothing like that. I know how to be calm and comfortable, and you've got to be comfortable, or you're going to struggle. And after the first lesson, most of my students get it. It's like, yep, I can do this, and I'll adjust to the right pace to teach you, how fast, how slow, and that's how it goes. So check it out on the website if you're interested. I would suggest email me, mike@rockandguitarlessons.com. Feel free to add me on Skype. Skype name is Rockin' Guitar Lessons. That's ROCKIN, Guitar Lessons. And we can get you started, man. Get your playing going to the next level. If you're playing in a band, boom. Let's tighten up on some of that stuff. Or if you're just for your own personal enjoyment, you want to get your soloing better, or different techniques and different styles, we'll get you going there. All right? So until next time, keep practicing. Mike Gross, rockandguitarlessons.com.